Hello and welcome to Trailblazing Pathways. This is Sham Sundar, your segment host. In this segment, we will be talking to those Toastmasters who have completed their pathways successfully and significantly. Today, we have Marcus Udokang, who has completed Motivational Strategies Pathways. Let us hear more from Marcus. Good evening, Marcus, and welcome to the show, Trailblazing Pathways.
Hi, Sham. Thank you.
How are you today? All okay?
Oh, I'm doing okay. How are you?
Okay, fine. Thank you. Thank you too.
Perfect.
Okay, let us proceed with our segment, Trailblazing Pathways. First of all, could you please tell us more about this motivation strategies? What does it contain?
All right. So I think looking at the itinerary for Motivational Strategies Path, personally, I've realized that this is definitely aligned with something that I was interested in. So you best to pick a path that personally appeals to you. And since I wanted to become a professional speaker, Motivational Strategies Path is something that I want to do. The path itself has 5 levels, like every path. But what makes it distinguishingly different from other paths is that it has compulsory projects that focus on motivation type of speaking. So this is the distinguishing feature of the Motivational Strategies Path.
Well, actually, Marcus, when going through the levels, there are the third, fourth, and fifth are the most important level of this pathways. In this, actually, it is about emotional intelligence. What is it? Could you please throw some light on this?
Emotional intelligence is something that you as a speaker should be conscious of when you are speaking to your audience.
Okay.
It is something that allows you to understand what it is your audience is looking for. How do you appeal to your audience emotionally? Because it's the emotions that really help to motivate your audience, right? So you need to be able to appeal to certain things. For example, if you're speaking to an organization, what does the organization stand for? Are you just speaking about anything, or are you about speaking something that adds value to your audience? And in it, you can add an emotional aspect which arouses emotion, which arouses interest. If you want people to be interested in your subject, you have to appeal to their emotions.
So, in short, what you are trying to say is actually it's grabbing the attention of the audience or the group.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so.
Okay, perfect. Well, there's one more interesting part of this level is motivate others. I know that motivating yourself is much easier than motivating others. So what techniques or what did you learn for motivating others?
All right. So let's start off with those 5 levels. And
Okay.
What's important is that you do them in chronological order, at least for your first path. And the first speech you do in level 1 is an icebreaker speech. An icebreaker is to break the ice, for people to get to know you. It's about you, yourself.
True.
And it's for your Toastmasters Club to be able to get to understand you a bit better. Now, this gives you an opportunity to get on stage. It allows you to feel that emotional side, if you will. It allows your audience to understand you at a deeper level. Mm-hmm. Then you get on to an evaluation speech in level 1. And that speech gets evaluated once, and then you do it a second time, it gets evaluated a second time. The whole idea is that it teaches you to go back and learn from the feedback that you're getting from your evaluator, right? Now, the third project in level 1 that you're going to do is more a research project. And it's these three speeches that help to constitute level 1. They provide you plenty of flexibility to showcase your speaking skills. And level 1 is the same in all the paths. Even a bit of level 2 is. It's introducing you as a speaker to this wide range of opportunities to allow you to present. Okay. Now, there are compulsory, like I mentioned, there are compulsory parts of each of these levels in that one path, and then there's optional. So let's focus on the compulsory projects, right? So what competencies does Motivational Strategies Path include? And how does this path differentiate from other paths, like I briefly mentioned before? I mentioned that the compulsory projects in the path help you to build your skills as a powerful, as an effective communicator. And the focus is learning strategies to build connections with people, understanding the value of motivation, how to lead small groups to fulfill a task, for example. And the last big project in this path includes a team building project. It's going to help you bring together all the skills that you've learned in all the other in all the other levels that you've learned, including public speaking, and you put them all into one big project. So level one, I mentioned, was icebreaker, the evaluation and feedback speech, which you do twice. Then there's the researching and presenting speech. That's it for the old system up to October of last year. And anything from October of 2021 onward, there's one additional speech you have to do in level one. And that's more about, it introduces you to body language, vocal variety and body language. That's it. So on the new system, you've got the icebreaker, you've got writing a speech with purpose, you've got introduction to vocal variety and body language, and then the evaluation and feedback. So there's one extra speech in there. So that's level one. Level two, usually for motivational strategies, it includes understanding your communication style, active listening, introduction to Toastmasters mentoring, which is big in Toastmasters. So those are the compulsory parts. Level three, like you mentioned, understanding emotional intelligence. Very important in any public speaking arena, especially in Toastmasters. And then you've got two options from a list of 12. You could do connecting with your audience. You could do connecting with storytelling. You can do making connections through networking or understanding vocal variety. There's a whole number of options you choose to. But the key, that compulsory part, is understanding emotional intelligence. Level four, you've got one optional project called Motivate Others.
Yes.
And then you've got a number of options, about 7, you choose one. It could be managing a difficult audience, writing a compelling blog, public relations strategies. You've got a good variety, but the key here is motivating others. That's the compulsory project.
Well, I have something important there in the level 4, something called as managing difficult audience. So what is it about? I mean, are you going to set the audience something, or feed them with the questions, bombard them with the questions? What is it actually?
You don't go tell your audience to be difficult for you just for this speech. Maybe it's an audience, maybe it's a topic that you don't ever cover have never covered before.
Okay.
So this could be a difficult audience because they don't understand your topic, or maybe you don't understand the topic well, and you need to simplify things for them. So this is how it's a difficult audience for you. It's the first time you're talking to this type of audience. A good example is emotional intelligence. What if you don't know much about it? You've composed the speech, you're trying to arouse their emotion. This will be a difficult audience for you if it's your first time.
So that you might be evolving with a lot of practices, actually.
A lot of practice, yeah. Or even how to motivate others. Maybe you're trying to motivate them to do something. Maybe it's your first time as an MC, as a host on a panel discussion. That could be a difficult audience.
Okay. So now, out of all these things, you need to demonstrate the expertise of whatever you learned in these 4 levels. Now, is there any examinations, or how do we do that actually? What needs to be done for that?
So you take those 4 levels. Now you're going to put them into level 5 team building project. That's that one compulsory project. So you're working with a small team. You're going to host a team building event. This is where all those levels come together in one. Maybe you wanted to put on managing online meetings. Maybe that's going to be part of your team building project. Maybe it's going to be something like maybe a high performance project where it includes, for example, this project that you're doing here, where you're interviewing people on a particular topic. You have to work with a team. You have to work with the person you're asking questions to. You have to practice ahead of time. You have to formulate with the person who's going to edit your videos. I mean, that's a team building project. So that could be something that encompasses all the aspects of 4 levels into one.
Wonderful, Marcus. That's gave a complete picture of motivational strategies rather. Now, one last question I would like to ask is, what is the simple, or what is the advice that you give for our budding Toastmasters, whether to take this motivational strategies as the first pathways or to go with some other pathways?
I'd say my advice to any Toastmaster, if you're going to take this path or any path for that matter, spend at least a month doing each project.
Okay.
And the reason why I say this is because each path contains about 14 or 15, maybe 16 speeches, 16 projects. If you do one project per month, you will complete your path in about 12 months, maybe 15 months. So we're looking at a year and 3 months. Sounds fair. Some months, if you can do 2 projects, great, if they're smaller projects. We all have families, we all have work to juggle. So 1 project per month is very realistic. It's very impactful for you because you've got time to digest it.
Yeah.
And it allows you that time to still attend to your personal affairs. I think that we learn best in moments of enjoyment. This is a quote from Ralph Smedley, the founder of Toastmasters.
True.
So do
Absolutely.
a motivational strategies path to experience that enjoyment. And do it, like I said, spread it out. Don't do it quickly. Don't take too long to do it. I think a month it's adequate, it's optimal, and you're not going to regret it.
That's great, Marcus. Thank you very much for your time, and thanks for such a nice advice for all our Toastmaster fraternity. Thank you once again.
Thank you. Thank you, Sham.
Bye-bye.
Perfect. All right. Take care.